Welcome, welcome, America. How are you? How are you, America? Good evening. I am Michael Anthony. This is 10 O'Clock Talks. And thank you always for joining in. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, please stand by. Controls. Thank you again. I really appreciate it. Like, share, follow YouTube, Facebook, and beyond. I appreciate you guys. I really do. All right, so let me get into some other things here. So I laid out. I'm laying out some short clips, and there's a purpose to all this, and I hope you catch it. For one, it'll be easier to watch as well. So keep that in mind. I intend to live stream? Sure, I do. I really do. But I felt a narrative of change was good, and could be more interesting and enlightening for you as well. So that said, let's move forward, okay? And don't think in the box. Always try to think out of the box. I want to put information to you that way. You'll always have the right to choose. You always will. It's always your choice. I want to start off with this. Tracking systems. Microchips can be placed under the skin. It can basically tell you at any time, and I know experimentally they're doing this to certain people to see if they get infected with this disease that is amongst us in some fashion. China. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for our lives. We really appreciate it. I have some interesting things that I'd like to share with you guys. There's no doubt about that. Things have come to light. A big mission, I expressed this before, has taken place all across the globe. And I'm trying to break down elements and pieces and fitting them together for you in a better, lucrative way for understanding for all of us. You know, I'm not the best speaker by far. I just have a voice. It's a voice for America. It's the new American voice, whatever you know. I get these people come up with these things, and I appreciate them so much, and I really do. Know that. I mean that. So I want to get back to a topic that I pre-uploaded that you probably by now have seen. If not, dig through the files that you see in front of you coming out. You'll find some of this information, and you'll be able to dot the I's, cross the T's. So, how long truly did we know of this threat? How long truly were we preparing for certain actions against certain things? Some things have come to the light that our military was actually working on a cure for what we're going through for quite some time prior to even Mr. Fauci's comments in an article from 2017 that America will be faced with a pandemic. So, were certain cards laid out? Was more knowledge known? You must ask yourself that. And it's the truth of the matter. You must ask yourself that. But it seems that our military handed off information to pharmaceutical companies to work and develop and finalize things that could help. Our president preaches on this Frankenshot. He's all for it. Puts us in a bit of a tivy there, right? Or whatever you want to call that word. And it really does. What are you to think? And I'll give some information on that. Maybe the forefront of the process with knowledge being threatened towards us, we went into action through our military, and our military has qualifications of many people that can do many things. So how long did they know about it? It seems they knew about it. It really is coming forth that way. I think the president puts trust into where he knew that information was. And if you ever listen to Donald Trump and his presentations that he was doing, his daily pandemics, addresses to the public and to the American people and globally as well, that he always seemed to be an equal step or a step above even Fauci and the sidekick that was with him. Could anything have changed with this formulated cure once put into the hands of the pharmaceutical companies? And I say that for a particular reason. We might have been on some miraculous breakthrough that President Trump felt very confident in. But when he left office, and he did, he conceded, but he left. What could have happened? What could have changed? And now we know that there has been issues addressed more fully of things, clotting the size of a fist in a body. Could you imagine that? Skin problems. We know that there are many issues in this Frankenshot now coming to surface. In the art of wars and protection, was this expected on the side of Trump to know that there would always be some sort of something? There were many mistakes. Many people placed in the wrong places with the wrong idealisms on how to do things. The dark was already working with the dark politicians. Many things were in place behind the scenes. The president had many issues, daily issues, probably to get him to not be so focused on anything that he may see. But once he leaves office, something happens to this first one, second one, now boosters. And why? Why all of a sudden is over in Europe, they don't want to deal with this no more. They don't want to deal with this process of the cure of the Frankenshot. So you just have to ask yourself, some of the things that I brought up and with now is being leaked out and information is forthcoming, how long did we truly know of a threat? And were we on top of it? And did we succeed? And did it get changed? Different countries, different thoughts, different narratives. Different people bought off. Different people scared. Other people, different from them, willing to not subject their citizens to harm. I have something very interesting, and I'll play it for you shortly. But I wanted to just state that to you. I've taken many different avenues in the last few uploads on many different things, and there are more coming. But I think we need to look into this as research, and you be in charge of your own knowledge and your own answers of what you're willing to accept. But it seems that this is out there. It's much is informative. We know we had 3 very highly impressive doctors that come forth, willing to lose everything that they stand for in this war, and their only concern is to keep you safe and healthy. We know who these people are. I have something, though, that's very interesting, and I'm going to play a short clip from it. I could do it different and put it on the screen, but they choose not to be recognized. That's by their doing, as well as their voice will be disguised. But it's credible, it's factual, And it just gives me the thought of where we are, why we are here, and what truly is going on. This information may help you enlighten me and others. Everybody puts things together different. But what's important is information and knowledge. So while I prepare this for you to hear, clear your mind for a moment, because I do need you to hear this. Because I feel it's of great importance. It's going to take a little time, so bear with me. And remember, much is said by many different people in many different ways. Some people are angry that have to share this, but only have your well-being first.
Experiencing severe symptoms. This is from shedding off of the spike proteins. You can go to my website and there are informational videos on there that explain the whole process of what's happening and why this is happening to women. There's a woman giving out the warning about this, and many people who have reached out to me and given me countless, I don't even want to call it testimonials, but told me their own personal stories. There are women and men who have come into close proximity of people who have had the vaccination. And once they do this, these people are, a lot of people want to call it shedding, but when people think of shedding, they're thinking shedding off of when you get the weakened viral vaxes. But that's not what this is. This is gene therapy that's causing your body to make these spike proteins. This is the mRNA gene therapy. This is an grand human experimentation. This is not anything that's ever been done before. It is, in fact, altering the human makeup of the body. So what's happening is that process starts in the human body and doesn't stop. It's coming out in their breath. It's coming out through their pores. So spike proteins, what they're finding is dangerous to human tissue. This is what's causing reproductive problems in people. This is what's causing, the sterilization of people. Women who have come in contact with, and men, I have men too, who have come in contact with people who have had this vax, and I'm saying it this way so I don't take my video down, have suddenly become covered in strange bruises. Women have had, as young as 10 years old, 10-year-olds starting their periods early, 11-year-olds getting 2 periods in a month suddenly from being around people who have had this done to them.
Suggesting that young children take pre-hormonal pills and injections.
People having clots the size of their fists. People that were in menopause for years suddenly having severe periods with grapefruit-sized blood clots. This is happening to all kinds of people. Men that are, their spouse had the vaccine and they go to bed at night and sleep next to their spouse, wake up covered in bruises. Countless testimonies. If you go to my website, truthunmasked.org, and click on Stay Away, and it says warning, you can see a video of a doctor, and his name is there. He's explaining this process to you, and another woman who's giving you this warning. There's yet another doctor who is warning her patients that you need to call ahead of time and let them know if you've had the vax, because she doesn't want you in the office because they treat pregnant patients, and she doesn't want people who have had it around the patients because of this.
I think what I have shared with you says a lot. she wants to remain anonymous. And here at the 10, we're going to honor her wishes and thank her for her knowledge and insights. Replay, if you need to, her website, and please listen to the entirety unless you find it somewhere else on the internet. Dr. Von Bosch, Francis O'Boyle, Dr. Tenpenny, the numbers, I can name off 50 doctors, 50 associations. My point to all this and why I'm doing this, and I keep repeating it and bringing it up, is because I really think there was a point in time, there was a better part of what this was. I think this has now been manipulated and mishandled. Otherwise, the president would probably not represent it. And maybe, as I stated, certain amounts of numbers, even if this is a purity of all good intentions developed and unchanged, that certain elements would occur. We don't know that. But the surprising issue is how it is affecting certain younger children who come in contact or themselves, for whatever reasons, have had this procedure. And I think we need to stay aware and knowledgeable. And I thought it was a great, not a great, but a great source of information to add into what I've shared with you repeatedly, and I have. I talk about this a lot. I will not be receiving this. No, I don't want to be around people, and I just talked a couple days ago about I'm even worried about people not changing their mask, and if they have had this procedure and they're out with a mask on, is it a contaminant? No. It seems that we are going into a different direction reproductively, and not just reproductively by this procedure or the effects and side effects of it once you receive it, and it won't affect all, but it seems the numbers continuously are growing. As I said, Europe's putting pretty much a halt. They're not going to no longer put their people in jeopardy over this. So we have to stay vigilant to that. I'm not trying to be a bearer of bad news, just good news in some fashion. You may find that we have to separate people from everything and all indications coming forth. How do you do that? How do you know? You may have to actually start asking people, have you had the procedure? Have you received this Frankenshot? Or the Frankensteiner, which would be the double? And we know that they did pull J&J off. Trump didn't agree with it. He still insisted. But is it because maybe we don't know right now what has been formulated into this or any changes manipulated into this? And I think the only safe thing for America and the rest of the globe to do is refuse it at this point. President Trump said he respects anybody who decides to or not to have this procedure. And that is warming to know that he feels our comfort if that's our decision and he does not judge for it. Has he been called into that office up at the Big P for a reason? We know he's out and about doing good causes, supporting a lot of great candidates, doing a job for 2022. But when you get factual information and pleads from people, you can't help but to share what may be the most important element of news that you can ever share with the world. And I feel like I needed to do that. And I wanted to get the information to you. I have a lot to be said, more short pods coming up. Please listen, stand by. Please stand by. We are the 10. This is Michael Anthony. This is 10 o'clock talks. Have a great evening. Look forward to the next post. It will be a drop. Thank you.